Well, welcome everybody. My name is Betsy Ruzzi. I'm the Vice President of the National Center on Education and the Economy. We're so pleased that you could join us for this important event where we will hear for the first time the results from a brand new study, a groundbreaking international comparative study on early childhood education and care that the National Center funded. This study was conducted by a team of world-class researchers led by Sharon Lynn Kagan, who you all know as the leader in this field. In addition to the study findings and implications for the field, which are profound, we will hear reactions to the study from practitioners, policymakers, and researchers, and have some time for your questions at today's event. But first, let me put this major piece of work into perspective from NCEE's point of view. NCEE's mission is to learn from top-performing education systems whose students outperform their US peers, but do that in systems that are equitable and efficient, particularly cost-effective. We take those lessons and adapt them to the US context to help leaders in US states and at the local levels improve their education and training systems. In your packets, you'll find a document called the 9 Building Blocks for a World-Class Education System. This document is a summary of the common elements we find in the high-performing systems that we study. Jurisdictions implement these elements differently and sometimes at different levels of quality. But you can find all of the elements in each of the systems. It is these building blocks working in concert that, in the end, lead to top performance with equity. That's what we find in our research. NCEE has committed itself to study each of these building blocks in depth, to understand how they function in the top systems and what lessons we can learn to improve our system back here at home. We have done this now for 3 of the 9 building blocks. A study by Linda Darling-Hammond called Empowered Educators that looks at how top systems around the world are organized to produce an abundant supply of highly qualified educators. Another study called Preparing to Lead, Lessons in Principal Development from High-Performing Education Systems, and now the Early Advantage 1 and 2, Building Systems that Work for Young Children, that we will hear about today. You can find information about all of these documents and reports on our website, www.ncee.org. Just to give you a heads up, in the fall we will be releasing a new book on vocational education and training in top systems, and we'll have more studies to come after that. And on June 6th of this year, just under a month, come back here to AAAS to learn about the state of Maryland effort to implement the 9 building blocks in recently passed legislation that went into law yesterday. So let me introduce you now to our CEO and President, Tony Mackay, who will get us started. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Betsy. Good morning, colleagues. All of you who are gathered here in this auditorium, but also to the thousands of people that are no doubt joining us this morning through our live streaming opportunity. So it's great to be here together for what is going to be a power-packed couple of hours. So just strap yourselves in here. This is going to be a remarkable opportunity to learn with each other about the most vital of all items on the agenda for education. Let me just ask people if they would switch off their phones, make sure they're either on silent or, better still, completely switched off. I know this would probably mean that for some people your blood circulation will stop, but if you can do this, it would help us a lot. Let me also indicate that you'll see on the agenda this morning that we have opening presentations. We've got 3 remarkable panels, and then we're finishing with a short Q&A session. In order to facilitate that Q&A session, Could you use Twitter, which means therefore you'll need to switch back on, in order to do this? You'll see it's hashtag early advantage. If you've got some questions that are arising as the morning unfolds, can you send those through to us? And then we'll do a little opportunity of gathering those, and I can immediately take from the floor to the Q&A session with Lynn some of the key issues that you're raising. Please identify yourself so that when I call out a question, I can also indicate who has asked that question. This will save a lot of time in terms of getting to microphones.